We're on.
Aye, we're back. We are back.
That's it.
Phil and Lee, in the glorious episode 3.
You got the name wrong then, didn't you? You were going to say Phil and Lee's amazingly brilliant podcast.
No, I wasn't going to say that because I had that rhyme of Phil and Lee on episode 3.
Ah, see what you've done there? Clever. Anyway, welcome back. Episode number 3 of Phil and Lee's amazingly brilliant podcast. Do you know the really, really mad thing? We've managed to find or worm our way onto Spotify.
Just like that.
Just like that. I mean, basically Spotify was there and they were like, hold on, is that Phil from Phil and Lee's amazingly brilliant podcast? I was like, yeah, it is. And they said, we've heard you've got a really good podcast. Do you want to, can we put it on Spotify? I was like, yeah, right, why not? And there we are. We're on there. How good is that? How good is that? But anyway, this is the podcast.
Professionals.
Very professionals. Indeed, mate. That's exactly what we are. And during this podcast, we've ummed and ahed about how to describe it, haven't we, mate? But essentially, we are here to talk in a kind of normal blokes way of talking, right? All about how to upgrade your physical, your mental, your emotional health. Do you agree?
Boom. And we're going to touch a little bit upon relationships.
Yeah.
Phil was a bit iffy on this one, but I'm said, yes, we're doing it.
Yeah, why is that then?
Relationships.
Why was I a bit iffy on that then, mate?
Because you're single and I'm fucking lush.
Yeah. I hate that word lush. I hate the word lush. Don't say it again. I hate it. I hate it in all senses of the word. I hate it when someone eats something and say, oh, that was lush. Oh.
Do you know what? Now that you say it, I used to say it a lot. Now I'm going to look out for it.
I think it's a northern, isn't it? I think it's northern, and I also think it's Welsh. I think.
I'll tell you what I hate. I hate when people say northern or I'm northern and they fucking live like in Manchester or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Just if you get the UK, wait, doesn't matter about Ireland part for now. No offense. You get that block of land, right? Slash it in the middle, right? Above there, you can kind of see is a bit northern. Like where I'm from, and in Scotland, I call that northern. Fucking not even 50%. These people still down here on this small 50% part are saying that they are northern. That makes no sense to me. No, you're not. You're Midlands.
So you mean people from the Midlands
should say they're from the Midlands. We should third it out.
But surely people from the Midlands don't refer to themselves as northerners. Surely it's people.
People in like I don't know, Blackpool and shit are like, oh, we're northern. Us northerners. I'm like, one, you don't sound northern whatsoever, so kiss me butt. You're not northern.
I don't think Blackpool is really classed as the Midlands, though, is it?
No, but that was just an example. Do you know who I think I heard say? A dad was a comedian.
Jimmy Tarbuck. Tarbuck. How did I know that? There must be
no. There's a daughter. She was on I think she was on one of them, either Love Island or she was on one of those shows. She does like some presenting and stuff like that. She's actually good friends with Sophie off Geordie Shore.
Who also has it on good authority that by 5 p.m. tonight the army are going to be out and we're going to be on full lockdown.
Yeah. How? Have you heard of big Boris J? He's got bloody.
Got it, mate. He's got it.
Boris got it, aye. Do you know what? Right? I'm a very nice lad, right? And I'll admit that myself. But he fucking deserves it, right? I was sitting watching them speeches the other night. Right, I don't watch the news much, you'll know this, right? But what I have seen, I've seen the Houses of Parliament fucking brimmed in no gaps in between seats, and they are all telling us to stay 2 meters away.
They're not adhering, mate, are they?
Nah. I then see him on the podium the night before he made the announcement of the lockdown. I see him start 3 podiums. There was a woman, there was him, and then this other science man. And that wasn't a meter apart. How easy was it to make them a meter apart? 2 meters apart. Easy.
Correct.
And there's a video which is funny, right? And
somebody... Can I just say something? when you refer to someone as some science man,
Aye.
a scientist.
Well, you know.
Just to clarify. Sorry, carry on. Go on.
For the listeners, it's a scientist. Anyhow, there's another video where he's standing next to some woman, she coughs, and he looks at her, he looks at her funny, and she's like, "It's all right, I haven't got it." And then all I can think of now is she was fucking messing with, she was pulling his finger, she's coughed and given it.
And she knew full well she had it. Did you see, there was one of Trump. Do you see that video of him? And he's listening to some woman do a talk, and she said about how she felt, I think she felt like she was ill or she was a bit fluey, and he just sort of looked at her and walked off.
What do you reckon about him? He's like, he's saying they're going to be like open up the country and everything's going to be back to normal by Easter. Isn't that like a couple of weeks away?
Yeah, it's not going to happen, is it?
That's what data is he going off? Like,
he creates data in his head, mate, and I think that is the whole. He's done that ever since he's good.
He's good with numbers, though. I don't understand how he's messing these numbers up.
Is he?
Why? Isn't he a bit? Is he a billionaire?
You don't have to be good with numbers, though.
Definitely a millionaire.
To be a businessman, do you? You need to be good at doing business. That doesn't really mean you've got to be good with data.
It helps numbers, data. Look at all the stuff that we do. If you think about like ads, speak to so many people, all of this stuff.
Yeah.
The better you know your numbers, the better you.
Well, yeah, but I don't think that necessarily means that he's good with. I don't think that necessarily means he's good at like collecting data and knowing what is data worth looking at and all that. You know what I mean?
He's got all that. Science men.
Oh, the science men.
He's got them science men.
Excuse me, is that the science men? Yeah, it is. Oh yeah, can you just tell me some data, please?
Have you not heard of the Science Men Institute?
Scientology, I think you'll find. It's a whole new ball game, mate.
No, but obviously, what happens with them? Surely, people have jobs to go out to get all this data. They go back to him and say, "Look, this is what the situation is." He's looking at this data, and then he's saying, "All right, all mint will be sorted by Easter." There must be something that he's looking at that makes him think that will be sorted by Easter, where they will be.
Probably, but I also think he's a bit of a fantasist and thinks, right, you know what, I'm going to say this because then everyone's going to like me a bit more.
Yeah.
More, you know.
But I think it's backfired because everyone just thinks he's absolutely mental.
Twat, yeah.
Yeah. But do you know what? I said to Wallace, I said, I wonder if things speed up or if things change a bit now the health minister and Boris Johnson has the coronavirus. Now that they are getting a bit of a taste of it, a bit of a flavour of how bad it is or whatever. Like, imagine he dies.
Wow, we've gone there. Wow.
Go down in history.
Yeah, well, it'd be mad.
But what will he go down as? Will he go down as a fucking idiot who didn't follow the rules?
No, mate.
Or will he go down?
I've no idea. You know my views on politics. You're pretty much the same. I don't really get involved too much. I'd rather go fishing, to be honest. And
oh, did you see the video or the meme where the bloke's sitting on the toilet and he's casting his rod into the bath? And he's
into the bath. Yeah, I've seen another one. A guy with a whole fishing setup and he's fishing in his tank.
I was going to send it to you. That's going to be you a week's time.
It's going to be me, mate. I've already started. I nearly said using my rod in the bath. Do that.
Using your what? You've only just started. How old are you, like?
Doesn't everyone do that? But yeah, so data is an interesting one, though. Just going back to that one, bringing it back into the kind of realms of what this podcast is all about. How many times do people live in a land where they're not looking at any data and they are creating a reality based on no actual truth? Do you know what I mean?
I have no idea what you mean.
You do, yes, you do know that. You do. I'll explain.
I honestly don't.
I'll explain. So we're in the game of helping people mentally and physically, emotionally, right? We help people feel better. We help people get results. We help people progress and grow. How many times have you heard someone tell you a story that then prevents them doing something that is going to be good for them.
Yeah.
All the time. So people live in this fantasy land, right? And they say, you know what, I can't go and join that gym because I'll get laughed at. I can't train in the morning before work because I won't be able to do it. I won't be able to.
And they've got no evidence to back that up.
No evidence.
They're just saying it, yeah.
Meditating is a good one, isn't it? Meditation. Yeah. Nah, I'm not the sort of person who can meditate. All right, well, where's the actual facts? Where's the actual facts? Do you know what I mean?
It's the same as...
won't work or you can't stick to it. There is no facts, so look at the data.
Yeah.
Call up your scientists then and ask them for the data.
It's the same when people say, oh, I don't like that. Oh, have you tried it? No?
Yeah, I know. You don't like mushrooms? What do you mean you don't like mushrooms? When was the last time you had mushrooms? I've never tried them. What? Funny, isn't it?
That drives me insane, that, because so many people are just missing out.
Yeah, you know, another good area, like another good example of where that kind of screws people is finances. And we've talked about this before. People, I've got no money, I haven't earned any money this year. Well, how much exactly have you earned? Well, I don't really know. We'll get a spreadsheet out and look, you know.
Yeah.
Work it all out and actually get some facts and some figures and some data, and then you actually know one way or the other. But if you just guess him, then you create this reality that is based on make believe and assumptions. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a lot of it's based on how you feel, isn't it? Like, if you're not going on facts, you're going on how you feel. Because I was there at one point where I was like, oh, this is just, my business isn't growing. It's just, I'm not making any more money and all of this. And then when I actually sat down, I was like, bloody hell, I've doubled my business in the last year.
Yes, yeah, it's mad.
And then I was like...
But because you were feeling, right?
Yeah.
If you weren't progressing, you weren't doing very well, you were then acting like someone who isn't doing very well. And then that causes you to not progress anymore, you know, whereas once you actually find out, you're like, Jesus, hold on a second, I'm actually doing all right. I've done quite well. Yeah. And then you feel like someone who's doing well, so you start acting like someone who's doing well. And then it all grows.
Even in the gym, if you train and you don't have a workout log, this is my opinion, if you train and you don't have a workout log, then you can't really see the progression. Do you know what I mean? So say, like, obviously me and you can go in the gym and just train and we kind of know we're on the right track, and we've been doing it for long enough to kind of know what works for us and what doesn't and all of that. I'm talking about a new starter. So he has a new starter, goes in the gym, they get told to do this, do that, and then what happens is that they put the weight up, but then they totally forget that they've even put the weight up, and then they lift in and the weight goes up and the weight goes up, and they're totally not aware that the weight, when they first started, it's supposed to say leg extensions. First day one, they're doing 10 kilograms on the leg extensions. 4 months later, they're doing 50 kilograms on the leg extensions, and they're like, I'm just not getting any stronger. And then they're getting that whole mindset of, I've not made no progress, I'm not moving forward. And you're like, hang on a second, I'm sure you were lifting 10 and now you're lifting 50. That's what you call progress. And if do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do agree. I was thinking when you first said that, I'm not going to agree with this, because the whole planning thing, workouts and writing down everything that you lift, for some people, in my opinion, isn't necessary, because a lot of people who, let's say, want to just lose a bit of body fat, lose weight, right? Lose body fat, trim down, you know what I mean, look better. Yeah. For them, I think there are other markers that are better to track rather than
to prioritize.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think personally, some people are better off. Some people just need to have a tick sheet, Monday to Sunday. Have I trained or not this day? Yes or no? You know what I mean? And for some people, that's enough. And say, right, I want 5 ticks out of 7. You know.
Yeah.
And then obviously taking photos and looking at the scales and taking measurements and that kind of thing to view progress.
To track progress, yeah. Because it's got to be situational, doesn't it? It's got to be like, well, what result am I asking for here?
Yeah.
And then you ask yourself, what metric is going to show that I'm making progress? So if I wanted to get fitter, for instance, I'm going to be looking at measuring, maybe if I'm going to be a runner and I want to get such a time on my 5K run or whatever, I need to be looking and tracking times. and pace and things like that, don't I? There's no good me going out for runs and then jumping on the scales and saying I'm not getting any fitter.
It's kind of like, it's like me saying, right, I want to be earning more money, so I'm going to track it by measuring the length of my dog's ears. You know what I mean?
I thought you were going to say me length to me Johnson.
Yeah, I nearly said dog's penis. I've been told by the cops not to tell anyone about that. But it is metro, and also the other thing as well, keeping it on a training and physical health level. You do need to track how you're doing, because people struggle with motivation, right? And success is the biggest motivator.
Success leaves tracks, doesn't it?
Success leaves tracks. It does, and you need to. But you're only going to see the tracks if you're looking for them and measuring them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. But yeah.
So there you go. Tracking is a must, I would say.
Tracking is a must. Yeah.
But what kind of tracking you do depends on what you're doing.
Yeah, and there's the other phrase. If it's not measured, it can't be managed.
Yeah. Going back to weight loss and well, then again, it's kind of not. So like, I might have some clients who come because they want to lose weight, but essentially in my head, I'm like, I know that they want to just increase the confidence. So like we are trying to lose weight and say that on the scales, but I'll get some of them to track the workouts because I know deep down on a deeper level that they're trying to improve the confidence, and them seeing, and again, motivation, confidence and motivation. So they are seeing improvements, and then they're like, yes. Oh, I'm better. And I think that's a good way to. I think it's good for people who want to lose weight and build confidence to track their workouts.
Yes.
Is what I'm saying.
I agree. I also completely agree in that people want to lose weight to improve confidence, right? And lose fat to improve confidence. And that is exactly
always the underlying thing.
It's always
confidence to feel good, but what they mean by feel good is that they feel confident when they're out.
That's exactly it. 100%. Yeah, definitely. And that's exactly why I kind of transitioned and moved from just PTing into the whole feel good training, and coaching and the mindset coaching and the lifestyle coaching that now I do, because I realized that everyone goes to the gym, you, me, everyone, ultimately to feel good.
Yeah.
And actually that is just one part, massively important part, but one part of this whole feeling good wheel.
When you think about it as well, some people may start for weight loss, they begin to start to feel good, and when they hit the goal, they keep going because they know that it makes them feel good.
About 2 hours ago, I was in the garden chucking around probably about 30 kilo log that I borrowed from the woods the other day. Because I realised I train in the gym most days, right? And I lift just relatively heavy stuff for my massive 70 kilo stature. And I miss. I don't run at all, but I can do body weight stuff. I don't like doing body weight stuff really. So I like lifting things. And I was in the garden. I was like, right, we're going to be at home for however long it is now. I need something heavy. So I went to the woods and I kind of nicked a massive log and carried it home. Borrowed, correct. I'll give it back. Thanks, nature. And I was in the garden today. I've been training with it for the last couple of days. Now, I'm not doing that to keep a certain look, right? I'm quite vain, not as vain as the people from Newcastle, I'll add, but I like to look all right. You know what I mean? But the reason that I'm doing it in the garden is because I feel good when I do it. Yeah. When I lift stuff, I get a bit of a pump on, and you're like, oh, I feel good now, and that's why I'll do it. Lots of people say, Phil, why don't you just have a day off? And there's been quite a few posts and memes and whatever, at the moment, because all gyms are shut, about people saying, oh, everyone, stop stressing about exercise. Take this as a bit of time to take it as some enforced rest, right? Which I do get that. But let's not forget that a lot of people train to feel good. Or most people do. You know what I mean? So actually keeping it going is quite essential for how we feel mentally.
There's a lot of so sometimes when I was in the gym and I'd have clients, I'd teach in my way, And then they might look at other clients and be like, what on earth are they doing? And I'm like, yeah, that's not like what we're doing. But then at the same time, I'm like, that looks totally stupid. But at the same time, you've got to consider, what are they training for? We don't know.
Yeah.
Like inside of a gym, there's two things. Either everyone thinks everyone's training to lose weight, or everyone assumes that everyone's training to get massive.
Mm.
And if you're doing something that doesn't kind of match up with that, it's like you're doing it wrong.
Mm.
It's not always the case. And I done a post, a video rant, shall we say, about trainers. I was directing towards, so imagine you've come to me to get a certain result. I'm going to give you a program that is going to get that result. What a lot of people, like, I've done a video on, I'm seeing bodybuilders are now like, oh, let's go run, let's do all of this. And they've spent 5 years building muscle now just to lose it, when they could still at least preserve it when they're at home. And then I've seen other people saying, oh, I'm sick of people going on, like, it's all about being active. And it's that kind of, it's the same what's that word? Misconception, whatever. It's the same, because it's like misinterpretation of what's being said. So when my video was based upon trainers, say you come to me to build muscle, we're working in the gym for 12 weeks or more, build a muscle, and then this coronavirus situation comes out, and I say, okay, Phil, we're gonna take the workouts to home now, and you're gonna do them at home. And what I want you to do is go and run 10 miles.
Yeah.
That is no reflection of what you came to me for at all. Why on earth would I get you when we've just been building all of that muscle to go run 10 miles and lose all the muscle that we've just been building? Mm. But then you say that on the other side of the spectrum, people are like, why are you complaining? Exercise is exercise. They should just be getting active. Yeah. Normal people who want to feel good and who want to be active, and generally people who are sedentary and lying around, do a normal body weight, do whatever, just get active. That's fine for you. But when it comes to a trainer who's charging money for somebody to get a result, the workout should get them that result.
And I think in this current situation that we're in, right? And I know we're both part of a few groups, fitness groups, there's a lot of coaches in these groups and that. And there's a lot of talk of trainers moving their business online, right? Everyone's been doing one-to-one stuff or group stuff, and now there's this big online thing because we're not allowed out. And I think some coaches, trainers, whatever you want to call them, are nervous. And I've had people ask me, Phil, what should I be charging? Well, I'm not a guru at all. I've been in the game for a long time, but I'm not expert. Actually, I am an expert, to be fair. Yeah, I am. Would you call me an expert? I think I would.
I'd call you an expert, yeah.
But anyway, I've had people asking me, what should I be charging? But listen, if you're a good enough coach in your field, you will know how to help people maintain and preserve, like you said, the muscle mass that they've been developing. You know what I mean? Anyone could just say, here you go, here's a body weight program. I know we've been lifting a load of weights and we're doing a load of strength training over the last 6 months, but we can't do it now. So here's loads of burpees, go off and do them. Doesn't take much thought, does it? And it's going in the completely wrong direction. If you've got someone wanting to build and at the minimum preserve muscle mass, you can't get them to go and do a load of running and burpees and everything like that, because they're going to just lose all the gains with a Z.
Exactly. I'm in that position, or been, whatever you want to call it. So I've been training people one-to-one or in person training.
Oh, hold on, your connection's gone funny. Hold on. Say something.
We're good?
Yeah, we're good.
So I've had to go online from doing one-to-one training in a gym and doing group training with a lot of weights. And my programming and what we're getting results for.
Sound's gone again, mate. Right, we're back again. Why does that keep happening? Why does that keep happening? Gremlins.
I don't know.
Carry on.
So basically, in a nutshell, before it goes off,
Go on.
all my clients are still training towards getting that result. The program has changed slightly, but it's all still catered to the result. So that means I haven't I haven't gone and says, oh, I'm going online now, so you have to pay us 10 pence a day.
I think, you know what? I think
I haven't done that. I'm charging because you're getting the same result from home as you would be with me in person. We're still getting the exact same result.
I would argue, mate. I would actually argue that what's going on now, people are going to get better results, and I think coaches are now working even harder and putting more time into their clients because now it's more about, in my opinion, the main reason why people hire coaches, trainers, whatever, is for accountability. I don't believe that people hire. There's a very small percentage of people who will hire a coach to teach them how to squat properly, how to deadlift. No, that does come into it, right? I've coached people that
in the first few weeks or whatever. Then
that's it. But then at the point, once you know what you're doing, it's the accountability that people pay for, and that's what gets the results. That's what gets the results, and that's why now all the online stuff that's going on, accountability is the key. Regular messages, regular contact. Have you done it? You know, all these resources that are available to people, you just need to think of it. You just need to think of what works best for that particular client. But flexibility is another thing, not as in how stretchy are you, but I think everyone's got to be flexible in their plans, in life in general, you know, because when things hit like this, you've got to be able to divert your course. And if you can't, then you crumble.
One of the lads that we know, and he's a trainer and a coach, Alex Myers done a great post. It was a while back now.
Have you seen his dog? Have you seen his dog?
Dr. Bordeaux or something, is it?
It's massive, mate. He did a little video earlier. The dog was in it, like making the most gnarly noises. And you think, Christ, it's a good dog.
Can you hear my dog?
Yeah, yours is pathetic, mate.
It's scratching at the door. Can you hear it?
No, I don't know. Is that the dog that also scratches at his penis? All day bloody wanking.
Gets his nail and sticks it in the tip. There's a circle after it.
We've all tried it. We've all tried that.
But he done a great post, and he was saying everybody plans for the best week, but they never plan for the worst week. And that's exactly that. Like, you've got to plan for your worst week, and then anything that comes in, it doesn't matter, because you have a plan in place, and if you stick to your plan for the worst week, you've won.
Yeah, I would also say, I'd add to that and say, prepare your mind for the worst situation. Work on your mind and become mentally resilient and strong, and work on how you perceive things. You know, we've talked about this before, the filters that you see the world through, right? Work on yourself mentally so that whatever goes on, you can deal with it.
Yeah.
I think that's such a big thing, and I think that's a lot of people love, meditating. What, you meditate, or you write a journal, or you do all these, you do all this stuff for your head, Phil. What's the point in it? Why? Well, why is in times like this, when some people are crumbling and some people are so scared and anxious and worried that their world has just gone to shit. I'm pretty calm about it. I know you are as well. And I know the people that we know who have been in programs, who have been coached, who are coaches, who know about this kind of personal development game, are quite relaxed about it. I don't mean relaxed about death and destruction, but relaxed about life going forward, and if the worst thing happens, the worst case scenario happens, whatever that is, I'm pretty sure me and you could deal with it.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably say this in a week's time when Armageddon hits. We'll be just cowering in a corner. Yeah.
I would add to that as well. There's a difference between training, like what you're saying, for the worst thing to happen. When we're talking about that, I'm sure you agree, and this is what you were saying, was when we're training for the worst thing to happen, we're not thinking about the worst thing happening. That's like not even anywhere near the front of our minds. All we are doing is just building resilience, gaining calm, learning how to control your emotions, understand your emotions, handle your emotions and deal with them, so that when uncomfortable, shitty things turn up, it doesn't overwhelm you and consume you. Because my mom, and you'll know this, unless you want to better your life, or unless you want to train your mind, or get rid of anxiety, or whatever it may be, or ease anxiety, shall I say, unless you want to do it, then you're screwed on. You need to want to do it, right? Now, me mum, I have every single thing that she could ever need right here in my head, right? But she doesn't want it. And what she does on a daily basis is she trains her mind with the worst case scenario at the forefront of her mind in every single occasion. So basically, she gets up every day and shits her pants, or like not literally. She's scared all day about this happening. What if I go outside and a bird shits on my head? What if I walk outside and I trip up and my skull ends up in Australia and my arm ends up in Hexham? Like, she could be, I keep telling her, I'm like, Mom, do you know what, you'll be really good? You'll be really good at one of those insurance risk assessment people.
Yeah.
Like, because some of the stuff, like some of the what ifs that she comes up with, it takes a genius to even think of it. Like, you can do a risk assessment and be like, oh, that might happen, that might happen. Well, what my mom sees might happen is a totally, you're like, that could happen? Really, that could happen?
Oh, what if a baby giraffe falls through the ceiling carrying 2 massive carpets with a Vauxhall Corsa attached to its ear?
That's the kind of shit you goes over.
The mad thing is, and a lot of people don't realise this sometimes, I don't think, as much as we can train to become more calm, right? You can train stuff. Some of the stuff we teach the people on our programs is teaching people to become calm and practice the skill of calm, right? You can also practice and train to become a more anxious person, can't you? You can train to become less self-confident by revisiting these situations over and over again. And the more you, like your mum, the more she's practicing that what if is kind of anxiety, right? Living in the future. What if this happens?
Emotion she's attaching to it.
Keep doing it. You keep strengthening the emotion in your head, which strengthens the neural, the connections in your brain, right? And the whole thing just gets worse. And I think that's something that a lot of people do. They train themselves to become
unaware. I think it's easy to be unaware when you're doing that as well.
Yeah, training them. When I say that, I don't mean they're deliberately. People go out deliberately to train themselves to be more anxious. But it's like people will train in the gym to lose body fat. A lot of people are training to get fat. They just don't realise it. Well, let's have another pie and a Mars bar for the 17th time today. Oh, training to get fat.
He has a one.
Now realising it.
When we're on about training to get fat, now it's not. It isn't training to get fat, right? But when people want to lose weight, they just go straight to the cardio section.
Oh, don't. Yeah.
And then the amount of times I've said to people is countless, right? Right, take a look around the gym. Right, who do you see around you? Are they overweight? Are they shredded and muscly and toned around this cardio area? No, they're all big, but they're all trying to lose weight. And I'm like, okay, now look over there where all them weights are. How do they look? Oh, they're shredded. They're absolutely lethal. I went, do you ever think that they've been on these cardio equipment? Have they? Shite. Don't even bother. Because everyone jumps on. They jump on the cardio equipment.
They jump on the cross trainer. Cross trainer, my favourite. They've spent an hour. Have you ever seen someone doing sprints on a cross trainer?
And losing all of the muscle because they're literally not really doing anything at all. They may as well just sit on the chair. There we go. I'm on a cross trainer now.
It's all right though, because their heart rate is in the fat burning zone.
Yeah.
And it says that on the little thing on the side.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm burning so much. I can't go if I go any faster, I won't be burning fat. That'll be in the anaerobic zone, and I won't get skinny then.
Yeah, I'll only get fit.
Yeah, I'll just get fit. What? Stupid.
I'll definitely not burn any calories if I go any faster.
Yeah, I've got to be careful. I've got to stay in the zone. This little card on the side tells me the zones. If I go any more, I won't burn any more calories.
It's bloody insane. So, if you are trying to lose weight and you are, or were, going in the cardio section and doing all of that,
kill it.
Do some weights. There's a lot more investment in weights. So you go and do an hour on the treadmill and you burn 500 calories. If you're not building any muscle at all, you're literally just burning calories and boring the shit out of yourself. Go to the weight section. You'll burn the exact same amount of calories, probably about the same, sometimes a little bit more. But in that same hour, you're now building muscle. So you're enhancing your metabolism essentially, aren't you?
And also, let's be honest.
And you make yourself look better.
You feel good. Yeah. You feel. No one gets off the cross train and go, wow, I feel great now. Do they?
Well,
Someone's probably going to comment on this and they're going to go, hold on, I love the cross trainer. I feel great.
Yeah. There is this select couple of people who are like, I love this, but when you think about it, if you're going to you've got an hour to train, all I can do is just go a little bit faster and beat the time or whatever. In a gym, you can go on one machine, you can get better reps, better weights, go on another one, better reps, better weight. There's so much more that you can build on and there's so much more progression that you can be made.
And also, the other thing, I think strength should be a core element, right, of anyone's training. But the other thing, I will never knock anyone who is on a cross trainer, even though I kind of just have, if they've never done an exercise before. If they're getting out of the house.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's
nothing. 1,000% better than nothing. Yeah.
And the other thing that I'll add, this has been a very fitnessy based chat we've had tonight, haven't we? Very physical. It's good though. But the other thing I would add is exercise, man. Some people just have it in their head that they need to go running or even need to go to the gym, right? This isn't need to go and pump iron in the gym at all. No. I think, and that's what puts people off quite a lot. They feel like they've got to be doing a certain type of exercise, And you've said it all before.
Think of their worst type of exercise.
And then do it.
Yeah. So they make it very, very hard for themselves.
Yeah, life is way too short to be slaving away in a gym, slaving away over a diet, slaving away over a mind upgrading program if you're not enjoying it. Do you know what I mean? Life is too short for that shit, man. Just go out. You've got to enjoy what you do.
There's no happy ending to an unhappy journey.
That's the quote I was just about to say. Yeah, it's a good quote, that, isn't it?
That's what I mean. There's some people who love gardening, right? Go garden and be in a calorie deficit. There you go.
Yeah. Exactly.
I love golf, but because I want to lose weight, I need to go and do 10 hours on the cross trainer. No, just be in a calorie deficit and go play golf.
Yeah. Here's the easiest way.
When you go golfing.
Here's the easiest way. Eat less.
Yeah. That's it.
So I mean, that is, calorie. We all know calorie deficit, calories in, calories out. Calories out, the output is quite hard to increase quite a lot. A lot of people struggle to do lots of exercise to increase energy output enough. So look at the other side. Eat less. It's easier to eat less, consume less calories than it is to burn more by miles.
I done a walk on the treadmill, because I couldn't train with me. Yeah.
I was going to say, why on earth did you do that?
No, it wasn't me. Yeah, I was injured anyway. I know that, and I could only walk. So I went with Lash. She was training, so I just walked on the treadmill. Just kept her company. You know what I mean?
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Warlass means
my partner.
There you go. Carry on.
Yeah, because she had a personal best. She was trying to beat running on the treadmill. So she was running on the treadmill trying to beat this time, and I was walking alongside anyway. and I was on for an hour or something. I burned 200 calories, and it's about the same as what's in a Kit Kat Chunky. And I was saying to my team, I was explaining, I was like, do you know, you're trying to out-train, like you can't out-train a bad diet. I went, this is how daft it is, right? I went, imagine this. You want a Kit Kat Chunky, so you ask me for a Kit Kat Chunky, and I say, okay, no problem. Here's the money. Go walk. The shop is an hour away. Go walk and get your Kit Kat Chunky. But know this, by the time you get there and you eat the Kit Kat Chunky, you're still not going to lose any weight. If you want to lose weight, what you have to do is I'll give you this change. You walk all the way 1 hour to that shop, buy the Kit Kat Chunky, and walk all the way back and give me my change, and then you might lose some weight. Who on earth would go walking for 2 hours to burn off a Kit Kat Chunky?
Right.
No one.
And then you get the people that do equate that to that, right? They equate, there's this amount of calories, so that means I've read it in the newspaper, it means I need to go and walk this far, right? And that's a very, very dangerous game to be playing, and a very dangerous...
They need to walk that far, but it doesn't mean they're going to lose any weight. They'll burn off that thing that they've just eaten. But you need to be past burning off. You need to be in the deficit zone.
Yeah, and also people don't realise that it's not just a case of I've eaten 2,000 calories today, so therefore I need to burn 2,000 calories, because people forget that the actual exercise, right, that you go to the gym once, twice, 3 times a week, the amount of energy output that causes is minimal compared to the energy that your body or uses just to survive. You know, we all know about NEAT and everything else. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's people think that, right, if I've eaten this, I need to go to the gym and burn it off. That is a dangerous and very bad mindset, and it's bad in education. It's not right. So, bloody demoralising.
Like you say, you need taking the stairs whenever there's stairs.
Just being active. It's just being active, isn't it? And all that. If I looked, I've got a load of Guinness in my fridge. I absolutely love drinking Guinness, right? Here and there. Apart from when we was in Ireland and I drank absolutely shitloads. But if I looked at the calories in a pint of Guinness, right, and what it would take for me to burn that off, that is the most demoralising thing in the world. Do you know what I mean?
What's funny as well is those same people will have a Domino's. Some Domino's pizzas have like 3,000, 4,000 calories in.
I was in, Sorry, go on.
And then they'll say, oh, David, I'm going to go and burn it off. They go to the gym and burn 300 calories.
If they're lucky, It's nuts.
And then they forget all of that, creating a surplus.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was in the supermarket the other day when we were still allowed in there, and when it wasn't before the days of 1 in, 1 out in my local supermarket. It's like a nightclub around the corner now. They've got bouncers on the door and everything. It's nuts. And but I was just looking at the pizzas just out of interest. This is the kind of sad. This is why I'm single. How many calories are in them? Right, all of them in the supermarket. I just looked on the back of all of them. There wasn't one with less than 1,000 calories in them. Now, I'm not saying this for you to go, for anyone listening, if there is anyone listening, to say, oh, I can't eat pizza. I shouldn't eat. It's bad for you. Not at all. Pizza is delicious, and the world goes around because pizza is it. I'll fancy one now and all. But my point is, I can devour a whole pizza in one go. It's not hard. You know, I would smash that. I train quite hard. My diet's pretty decent, and everything else is, it's on point. But people will eat this pizza without the awareness of what's in it, and think, oh yeah, pizza. It's only a little thin slice thing. It's only that big. Can't be that many calories. But there's shitloads in it.
The size of a plate. I'd normally have a meal on that plate. Anyway.
I normally have, if I could have a plate of broccoli or a plate of pizza, it's still the same size. So it's fine. But they don't realise, and it comes back to awareness, doesn't it? Being aware, and that awareness is we could go on forever talking about awareness, couldn't we? In all different areas.
Is key to everything, really, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Awareness and energy.
Mm-hmm.
That's for a different time, I think.
Certainly is.
Good.
Speaking of which, I wrap this up.
I'm going to get a pizza now. I'm starving.
My mouth is watering.
Yeah.
I have a barbecue pizza with red onions, chicken, and
mate. Do you know the thing is, I don't even think I'm going to be able to get one unless I get a delivery. Ooh.
Guess what? It's a frozen one.
It doesn't matter. Shh. Don't tell anyone. It's fine. When it's frozen, all the nutrients are locked in as soon as it's made.
All of that hydrogenated fat is...
Get it in you. Those disgusting fats. Who cares? Before anyone complains or sends us a voice note or an email or anything, we are not condoning eating a diet rich in hydrogenated oils, are we, Lee?
I don't know.
Go now. Right. I've been Phil Highland. He's been Lee Hogarth.
I've been, and I'll always will be, Lee Hogarth.
You know what that's like? That's like, you remember when you was at school? You remember when you was at...
Are you still Phil, or are you somebody else now?
And I'll still be Phil. I quite like him. He's quite a good bloke. I'll stay in for a little bit longer. You know when you was at school and you ever have own clothes day? Where you wear your own clothes?
Clothes day.
Did you never have that?
It's called non-uniform day, not own clothes day.
We called it own clothes day. So everyone would say, "Oh, you're gonna say." Everyone would say,
"Worst name ever."
It's non-uniform day. It's like when people. It's like in America where they have walk and don't walk. Just state in the obvious, isn't it? Non-uniform day. It sounds stupid.
Own clothes day.
Yeah, own clothes day. But people.
It's hard to say.
What?
It's hard to say.
Own clothes day.
How do you say it? Own clothes day.
Own clothes day. He's getting good. His accent's getting better, mate. You've been practicing. But the weird thing is, people would say, "Hey, you gonna wear your own clothes tomorrow?" It'd be like, "Well, I'm not gonna wear anyone else's, am I?" And it's the same thing. I've been Phil. Yeah, well, I am. I am him, as it happens. So I'm Phil Highland. He's Lee Hogarth. Should we just go now?
All right. See you later.
See you later. Bye.